so much high in percentage. Do you think that will be materialized? And rating Museveni's economy globally, all his policies as it affects the people, what is your take and how would you rate him?
Yeah, thank you so much. VOP TV from Nigeria. I'm here for the first time and I'm happy to be here, and I'll continue associating with this television.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate.
Yeah, regarding the aspirations of His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni expressing his interest to contest as the president in the January 2026 elections, as of now, is yet to be confirmed as a flag bearer, because we are not sure how many other people will express interest to run on the NRM ticket. So until we confirm that His Excellency Yoweri Museveni is yet alone as the NRM flag bearer, in case other flag bearers come and they challenge him and they defeat him in the National Resistance Movement primaries, then he will not be able to continue to contest for the general elections. But in case he's elected by the party of NRM as a flag bearer to represent the party in the general elections, then he should be able to contest. And even that one, we are not sure whether he can win, because he will not be the only candidate.
But he has been winning over 30 years, Dr. Joseph. He has been winning over 30 years.
You have had cases where oppositions in Africa, they have tried, and I think Zambia is a good example. Who knew that the opposition could win elections in Zambia? So even in Uganda, yes, His Excellency Yoweri Museveni has been winning elections in the last 30 years, but we can't guarantee that the same is going to happen in 2026. And yeah, I heard you saying that NUP, or National Unity Platform, contested with President Yoweri Museveni in the 2021
election.
And according to you are saying that some Ugandans allege that...
yes, some Ugandans on social media are alleging there was a lot of, social media protests then, some of them alleging that he didn't really win that election. So, but I'd like to get your take as a Ugandan.
My take as Ugandan is that, the way the elections are designed, first of all, they say that the election is supposed to be free and fair. Whoever came up with that statement, free and fair, there were so many other statements to come ahead of free and fair. There is the free and good, free and very good, free and excellent.
But how would you rate the 2021 election? Was it free and fair, or was it free and good?
According to me, it was free and fair.
Okay.
Because that is the term that people popularly know. Of course, in an election, the fact that it's free and fair, it gives room for always very many gaps, possible irregularities, possible rigging, and so on. And always in every election, even in the United States of America, I follow the US elections, the campaigns, and so on. I couldn't imagine that it went all that very nasty, being abusive, following somebody's social and private background, and so on. That is in a very developed democracy in America. So even from the Ugandan point of view, yeah, there might have been some areas of weaknesses here and there, but we consider what has been declared by the legitimate authority that is in charge of elections in Uganda, that is the Uganda Electoral Commission. They declared the winner of the election as His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta as of 2021. So my position is that, yeah, we go by the candidate that was declared, but also we cannot really rule out that there might have been some gaps that as Ugandans, as Africans, we need to address them so that they don't continue happening in the subsequent elections.
Thank you so much, Dr. Paul. I'm still staying with you for a while before I move to our studio guest. Talking about free and fair and credible election, we understand that the NRM, which is this party, has altered the constitution twice to remove term and age limits. And this is, of course, clearing the way for Museveni to extend his tenure. Is this a credible thing to do for the constitution of Uganda?
Yeah. The NRM did not alter the constitution to remove age limits and then term limits. The constitution was altered by Parliament, the Parliament of Uganda. It is true that the term limits were lifted, age limits were lifted, and therefore that gave a fertile ground for His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta to continue ruling for the next 40 years. But of course, that those who are having the lens of lifting the constitution and lifting the age limit, they have their understanding, they have their reasons for doing so. According to them, they think that His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta has been able to do very commendable work for the last 30, 40 years, and therefore they feel that he should be able to continue. Just like many were giving different analogies. In football, if you have a player who is playing very well, he's scoring goals and so on, you'll be very careful when changing such a player, because you might bring one who will give you problems. So, according to those, they support that. However, there are also sections of Uganda who are saying, but lifting the constitution was not right. Lifting age limit was not right, because no matter how good a person is, a person should do is 2 terms, and they get off and give opportunity to other leaders to come into place, so that we're able to see, because the more we have new people come into power, different people come with the different visions, different people come with the different energies. So also there's that section that say, no, we are not supporting the lifting of the age limit, the lifting of the term limits, because in Uganda there's democracy. Of course, there could be some gaps here and there. So we have those versions of the population in Uganda, but by and large, we are still in an evolving democracy. We do not want to say that Uganda is 100% perfect, or even any country in Africa. We are still growing. Maybe in the next 20 years, in the next 50 years, we should also have reached really a very good democracy as it is in the rest of the world.
Thank you so much, Dr. Opul. We'll still stay with us. I'll get back to you, but now let me bring it back to the studio. Barrister Darlington, you heard what the Ugandan analyst, the doctor, said in Uganda. I'd like to get your thoughts and reaction. If Museveni wins this election, it will make him, that would be 45 years of him being in office as a president. We also remember that he took over power. He fought for tyranny during the time of Idi Amin. But he's been seen, according to some people, doing the same thing he fought for. Let me get your take on this.
I am disappointed in the people of Uganda, including your guests.
Why so, sir?
Yes. The way he's talking is like he's a member of that ruling party in Uganda. Because he didn't see anything wrong with what Museveni is doing. I expected him to condemn what is going on in Uganda. Why will a man be in office for 40-something years?
But that's his opinion.
His opinion is not good for Africa.
You think so?
Yes, it's not good for even Uganda. Look at it. Even all these years, this man has been there.
I am not a member of the party. I am an independent person.
He said he's not a member of the party. He's an independent person.
Yes, it's either you are afraid or you people don't know what to do. There are 2 things there. You are afraid of saying the truth, or.
But Barrister Darlington, he's live in Uganda, resident there, so he should be in a better place to tell us what is happening.
It's not good to rubbish that all Ugandans don't know what they are doing. But I respect the views of the guests in the studio.
If the Ugandan man, Yoweri Museveni, is making progress, I'll say no problem. At least there's a reason for him to have stayed there. Look at their economy. Look at their GDP, or what was that thing that is 66
billion, their GDP.
After all these years, for God's sake. And now, listen.
But Barrister, he has promised to increase the GDP to 500 billion if given another chance.
Good. All these years he was there, he didn't do anything. It is now that he will not take up to 500 billion. Imagine how this man is talking, as if he's talking to a fool. You have been there for 40-something or 30-something years. You didn't do anything. It is now under 6 years that will take Ugandan economy to 500 billion. Which magic is he going to do?
Barrister Darlington, thank you. But Paulo Pool pointed out something that you said all Ugandans do not know what they are doing, and he wants you to correct that notion. Yes, he just said that.
Well, I don't think I owe them an apology. Why would they allow Yoweri Museveni to be there for 40-something years now? That's my question. If all of them know what they are doing, I don't know how to have stopped him up before now. They ought to have done something.
But what if he's doing something laudable and some people in Uganda, perhaps majority Ugandans want him there?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
And moderator, moderator, if I may interject, I respect the views of my colleague in the studio.
Go ahead.
It's not really proper to say that, okay, Museveni may have not really, he has done nothing completely, because that's what the guest in the studio says. But it's worth noting that for us, from the Ugandan point of view, okay, some Ugandan points of view, I do not want to speak for all the Ugandans, we came from far. Maybe that the speaker should know the history of Uganda, especially after the takeover of Museveni from 1986.
Yes.
There have been so many internal rebellions within the country.
Okay.
And as we speak right now, and when the president came into power, the first was to see how to deal with the internal conflicts within the country. We had almost over 20 rebel groups within the country. Okay. And as we speak right now, there is no rebel group in the country, or even if we have one rebel group remaining, that is the Lord's Resistance Army, that is currently based in the Central African Republic, but they are in Central African Republic, but not in Uganda.
But how would you rate Dr. Poole? How would you rate President Museveni's economic? I mean, how has he been rating his economic policies now? As it affects the people, what would you say? Is he doing something positive?
Before I answer your question, what I'm saying is that so being preoccupied by first ensuring that we have peace in the country, you cannot do economy, you cannot run economy when you have insecurity in the country. So what the president has done more first was to ensure that there is peace in the country.
So he has done well in security, securing the country. He's done laudable.
He has done well in security, and also is trying his best to do as far as the economy is concerned.
Thank you, sir.
Like you are saying that we have $66 billion economy right now,
yes,
and he has promised to go up to
increase it to 500.
Yes. And to me, I feel that this might be a higher target, very ambitious target by the president.
But are you seeing that possible? You think that can happen?
No, it might be on the way to that, but achieving 500 within 5 years might be a very difficult challenge for President Yoweri.
Perhaps there could be another re-election till he gets to 90, something like Paul Biya of Cameroon that we'll talk about later. As long as he's healthy.
As long as he's healthy. But what I'm saying that the targets that the president is setting seems to be very high. It might be difficult to achieve it, but of course sometimes it's good to target high, even if you don't achieve. Maybe you will be close to. But also, I would like to ask the moderator in the studio. Yeah, it's good to respect the views of other people. It's not good to rubbish everything is flat, useless, and all this. Okay. I have not known yet the profile of the person in the studio, but by outlook, he looks a respectable person, and I respect your views. Yeah, so let's debate respectively. Thank you.
With decorum. Thank you so much for pointing that.
You see, that has been the problem of Africa. We respect and worship inanities in our leaders. How can Yoweri Museveni allot all the positions in Uganda to his family members? And you are telling me he is doing well. What well? Is that democracy?
But he said in security and curbing insecurity that he has done laudable.
He did not do
which we are struggling with in Nigeria, bringing it back to Nigeria.
Listen very well. We know what happened in Nigeria. No leader can stay more than 2 terms in Nigeria. It can never happen.
Anyway, let's stand on Uganda.
We may not be getting started.
Moderator,
but
can I respond?
And I'm saying that it is wrong.
You have your time, sir.
He is not maintaining any peace. Rather, he is putting fear on Ugandans.
How is he putting fear on Ugandans?
You saw how Bobby Wine was treated the other time. You saw how that young man was treated for contesting and all that. He brought all manner of things against the judiciary, that a civilian can be tried in a military barracks. All those things, he's not putting fear in people of Uganda. He's putting fear in them. That is the truth. So you cannot say that is peace. That is not peace. That is not peace. You are looking at all the positions occupied by his family members. They should leave Uganda for him now.
At this point, I'm going to ask Dr. Opul Joseph, is this insinuations true that Museveni has allocated so much of appointment to his family members? Is that true?
Yeah, thank you so much, moderator. I was asking you the profile of my colleague who's
a lawyer. He's a legal practitioner, sir.
Now, lawyers speak very carefully.
Okay.
I'm not a lawyer myself, but lawyers speak very carefully, because when you say President Museveni has put all his relatives into power, first of all, the word all, that's not true. It is, what I know is that President Yoweri Museveni has his wife as the Minister of Education, and the son is in the army. His in-laws?
Are there any of his in-laws in authority?
I don't know about the in-laws. The speaker, my colleague maybe could be knowing. So I know about those 2 or 3.
I can give you their names and position if you want.
No problem. It's okay. So those are only few. So, but when you say all, it doesn't really insinuate that
important positions.
Okay, you are changing the position, which is okay. So, and then the issue of the military courts, and this were debated in the assembly, or what you call the parliament of Uganda, and this was passed by the members of the parliament. Now, if the community feels that what the members of parliament did against the interest of the common man, now we are going for elections. So the community should be able to punish.
Having come out from Idi Amin, I don't expect this from Uganda. That's what I'm saying.
All right, Dr. Opul, according to, I'm right here on the internet, according to a Twitter page that's African Fact Zone, they said family members of Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni in his cabinet, 1, Janet Museveni, Minister for Education, his wife that you've confirmed. I have Muhuzu Kainerugaba, Chief of Ugandans Defense, his son. I have Salim Saleh, Presidential Advisor and former Minister, his brother. I have Bright Ramiwara, Minister for Animal Industry. The list goes on. It is up to like 17 to 20 names here, but we do not have time to list all of them. But I do not know if this is a fact or not, but this is what is on social media. That is what I'm saying. So you as a Ugandan could be able to tell us if these appointments are true or not, sir. Oh, he's I think we're having some network issues. I hope he rejoins us back to answer this pertinent question. Barrister Darlington, let's come back to you now. He pointed out the fact that the way you're using your language, and he didn't like it. But Barrister, let's get to Cameroon first before we come back to Uganda. If the guest comes back to us, we'll still talk about Uganda. Barrister Darlington.
Yes.
Paul Biya is 92 years. He's the president of Cameroon for more than 30 years. He has been there. So someone else now is trying to contest Paul Biya also. There are rumors that he has actually shared his opinion that he wants to recontest. And this kind of leadership and stories, you hear it in Africa alone. What do you think? What do you make of it? Because you know that the last time we saw Paul Biya on national TV, he doesn't make coherent statements that he could understand. You could see that he's quite looking frail and old and needs to relax. Yes, also in Uganda, there was a video of a member of a parliament contesting. It looks like he was so unhealthy that he couldn't, be able to handle himself. But he's still contesting for parliament. I get that Dr. Joseph is back. If you could hear us, I like your take on these names. There are quite a lot of names here, but I'd like to get your reaction, sir.
When you're talking about a member of parliament who's elderly, I didn't pick I think I had network issues. Is that what you wanted me to respond on?
No, I'm talking about the members of alleged family members of President Yoweri Museveni in his cabinet. I'm seeing a lot of numbers. I've seen his cousin, his sister-in-law, his stepbrother, his in-laws. 20 names here, including that of his wife, which is the Minister of Education that you've confirmed.
Like I said earlier, I know about three.
Okay.
I know about the wife.
Right.
I know about the son and the brother. But first of all, the brother is only an advisor. And that's not the person who is in government. So actually, I can talk about to General Salim Saleh is the only advisor.
Okay.
Is not in active. Now, about the rest, I have not started. I need to do a study and exactly find out who are these. But to me, what is very important is that if whoever has been put there, whether a relative or a non-relative, as long as these people are contributing to the growth and the development of,
and they are competent in what they are doing. That's what matters,
and they're competent.
Right?
I have no. But even in the U.S., if you look at the history of the U.S. presidents, the Bush family has been there most of the time. I don't know whether my colleague, the lawyer in the studio.
Yeah, he can hear you, sir.
I don't know whether he has been able to do so. But anyhow, generally speaking about the issues of President Yoweri Museveni, there are some things that he has done to the country that we appreciate. Me, myself, I used to be in internally displaced camp. That's what my colleague needs to know. So a person who has come from that background, now we can sleep in our houses comfortably. But it doesn't mean that President Yoweri Museveni does not have gaps. Every human being, whether at the personal or at the position level, has gaps. He has to deal with the issues of unemployment, which is growing so much within the country. And if you look at the NRM manifesto for 2021-2026, their focus is to tackle the issue of unemployment, grow the economy, provide quality education to the citizens, and many more other. And then also the issue of the crime rates, because people don't have the jobs. There are a number of crimes, especially within the capital cities of Uganda. Then the issue of corruption is there. So those are some of the things, the issue of the economy that he's talking about. Those are some of the things that in case President Yoweri Museveni is elected in the next election, should be able to focus on those. And I appreciate my colleague, the lawyer, that there are areas to be addressed by His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, but not saying that he has totally done nothing.
Nothing.
I think that is very, very absurd reasoning by my colleague, the counsel who's in the studio.
All right, thank you so much.
My Grouse promised.
Sir?
Why are we not emulating good things in Africa? Mandela spent 27 years trying to liberate South Africa. The apartheid regime promised him everything, but he said no, South Africa must be free. This man came out and served only one term and went to go and rest. I didn't hear that he changed it. Hold on, I'm coming, I'm coming, please. I didn't hear that Mandela changed the constitution to favor him and
but that is good. I appreciate what you are doing. I'm
coming. No, you said you don't like me. Don't worry, there's no problem. I said,
no, I like you.
Why didn't the people of South Africa or Mandela change the constitution to favor him? Because he was in jail for 27 years. This man was humble enough to do the needful and left. Look at South Africa today. Look at the template he put in place. That was why when Jacob Zuma wanted to mess up, his own party went to pull him out of office and disgrace him out of the party. Please, my brother, if things like this begin to happen in Africa, won't Africa grow? Will we not be better off? It's a good So why will you support immunities? You are supporting mediocrity because he did what and what. It's not fair. It's not fair. Your family, Uganda was not created for your family. Why was you doing that?
I agree with you.
Hey, you agree with me now. You agree with me now, but you were doubting me before. That is the reason why Africa is not growing. When you people see people like this, that's why Africa is not growing.
I agree with you on the issue of Mandela.
He says he agrees
on the issue of Mandela.
No, you have to. I have to convince him. It's not a question of saying that. Maybe because you people, I don't know whether he put people in darkness that you are not seeing the bigger picture. How can you say that? What have you done? Nothing. Just to line his pocket.
But Barrister, his life in Uganda and we are in Nigeria, so he should be in a better position.
He's not. He's not. When he didn't know that Uganda Museveni has cornered all the people. If he didn't know, that means he's not in Uganda. If he's there, he doesn't know what is going on under his nose. I have to tell him.
All right, Barrister, let's go over to Cameroon now. We'll talk about Cameroon.
Now, before we go to Cameroon,
you have something to chime in. All right, sir.
Yes, I wanted to appreciate my colleague on the question of Mandela. This is really Mandela has left a legacy, a lasting legacy.
Good.
That should be emulated by many of the African leaders.
Good.
And also including us in Uganda. And what I want my brother to know is that there has been agitation among the Ugandan community that after His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, we do not want to have any other leader who will be ruling more than, first of all, they want to put back the term limits. They want to put back the age limits so that we have, no matter how good you are, you come and do your 2 terms and then you go. Of course, contexts vary from one place to another. Thank you. All
right, thank you so much, sir, for pointing that out and your opinion. Barrister, let's talk about Cameroon now. The tourism minister of Obia, who is, by the way, 78 years old, Maigari, has put out his interest in contesting election, even though he's 28 years, and he has been in 30 years within Biya's cabinet, Barrister Darlington. It's likely almost the same thing we're talking about in Uganda. African leaders staying for a very long time in power. We were saying before that Paul Biya is quite frail. He's 92. Sometimes he doesn't really understand. When you look at him making speech or you see him on national television, it looks like he does not really understand his environment or what is going on there. So at this point, is it still okay to be in power?
How can it be okay? The man have overstayed his welcome.
And then we're talking about somebody who has spent 30 years in Biya's cabinet, also recontesting or contesting.
That will tell you the infamy. It's general with Africa. I don't know why God bless us with wicked leaders. Of all the resources he put in Africa, we have leaders who don't know how to manage it. And that's why Africa is backwards. We don't have leaders, seriously. We don't. Even in Nigeria, we don't have leaders. I've been saying it. If I see God, I'll ask him, God, why did you bless Africans with evil men who call themselves a leader? They are the ones setting Africa back. We don't have leaders. They are in bed with colonial masters who will come and plunder their country, and later they will be blaming them. Why do you allow it? Why? You have overstayed for what is he doing in Cameroon? What is the economic development of Cameroon? Even with years in office, nothing. He just sit there to be enjoying the perks of office without doing anything. Has he improved a lot of Cameroonian people? The answer is no. So what are you doing there? Nothing. Just sit down there and answer president without adding value. Can such nonsense happen in the Western world? Can it happen there?
I'd also like
and
to
they run there for holidays. Oh. They run there to go and enjoy life. But make their country and their continent better, no.
All right. I also like to get the thoughts of Dr. Joseph about the story of Cameroon. What do you think about President Paul Biya if he wants to recontest? You think it's a fair thing to do? And is that going to impact positively on the lives of Cameroonians? Or perhaps a member of his cabinet who has spent more than 30 years in his cabinet showing interest for the presidency. What is your take, sir? In 30 seconds, and then we'll talk about the terrorism in Somalia.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I would like to still thank my colleague, the lawyer. But his language, he has to improve on his language of blanket languaging, saying in Nigeria nothing, where nothing. Something is ongoing in these countries for sure. Now, coming back to Cameroon,
yes, sir.
I got interested in Cameroon affairs after seeing about 120 PhD holders demonstrating that they are lacking jobs. A PhD holder is saying that he has no job. What about somebody who has a diploma, certificate, a degree, a master's, and so on? So that exemplifies to you that the question of unemployment is very high in Cameroon. The cost of living is very high in Cameroon, and so on. But in summary, the question of the elderly long rule in power in many of the African countries, we need to deal with it. And right, if Pan-African Parliament could come up with the term limits, universal term limits for all African countries, I think this would be a very good thing to do.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Joseph. But in 30 seconds, wrapping up now, I'd like to get your thoughts on terrorism in Somalia. The forces has killed about 37 Al-Shabaab terrorists in Somalia. So it looks like terrorism is spreading, but giving a cue to Somalia now from Uganda, like you said, President Yoweri Museveni did a lot of good things in curbing insecurity. What are you going to tell the people of Somalia?
Yeah, the question of Al-Shabaab in Somalia, first of all, what you need to know is that the Al-Shabaab was started in 2000. As of now, Al-Shabaab is 25 years old. So I've seen that about some number of Al-Shabaab, about 37 militants, were killed by the Somali forces. Now, the question of Al-Shabaab will never be dealt with by a gun. You can kill this, tomorrow others rise. You can kill it because Al-Shabaab has reasons. As you might know, that the word Al-Shabaab means is a youth, a very young person, a vibrant person. Now, if you have young people having their grievances, which are not dealt with, and you can imagine that for the last 25 years, Al-Shabaab is still strong, is growing stronger day and day. So meaning that we need to understand the underlying causes why Al-Shabaab are fighting. Some of them are religious based, others are economically based, and so on. And this is growing not only in Somalia. We have a terrorist group in Nigeria and many other countries in Africa. So we need to deal with the root causes.
The root causes.
Yes, of the different terrorist groups in Africa, and then we deal with them. Otherwise, a gun, most of the manufacturers, manufacture of the arms in the Western world, in Europe and America, also contribute. Instead of coming to solve the problem, they give you the guns, they take your minerals.
Right,
in Sudan and so on. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, in Sudan, like the DR Congo, where the president of the United States, by the way, have brokered a peace deal. Even though America is going to get so many percentage of DR Congo minerals. So an idea asks, what is the point in that? And when would African countries be able to protect themselves and solve their problems by themselves without indulging Western authorities? Because it looks like some of these Western authorities come in, create the chaos, and find a way after so many years. Look at DR Congo, 30 years, over 30 years, they create this chaos and come and solve the problem. And in the disguise of taking your minerals. So I wonder when all of this is going to end. But thank you so much, Dr. Joseph, for joining us all the way from Uganda. And thank you for sharing your perspective. Dr. Joseph is a doctor and fellow at the University of Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, Gulu University, Uganda, and director Upulu Skilling Foundation. Many thanks, sir. And Dr. Darlington.
Thank you so much.
But we don't have time. We're out of time. We need to finish the rest of the news.
What you are saying is as a result of weak and bad leaders who are fighting for their own selfish interest. That is the reason for this terrorism and insecurity all over Africa.
All right.
If you have bullying, it will not happen.
All right. Thank you,
promise,
sir.
please, finally.
Okay.
If we want to repair Africa, we have to be blunt. It's as simple as that. There's no middle ground.